Hello everyone and welcome to The Bridge. I'm your host, Daisuke.
I am your other host, Waru Zafoo.
And, well, today will actually be, I guess I can say it's inspired by a personal happening, actually from earlier today. I was spending time with a very close individual, and in which we had a particular dilemma in which a friend of ours didn't do quite well on a particular test. And as opposed to lying and, I guess making it seem better through false information or, through false portrayal of safety, so to speak, we told her that she should make an attempt to alleviate the situation by getting in contact with that teacher as soon as possible. And I guess in a sense, we felt particularly bad because we weren't more empathetic, but we also mentioned or thought that had we fabricated emotions that particular time, and had we fabricated those emotions instead of, I guess, being honest, we were wondering which one would actually be particularly right, even though we felt as though just being completely honest and straightforward would be the better answer. And that's what leads us to our podcast of the day. The difference between dishonesty in order to keep someone happy, or being completely honest and possibly causing mental turmoil. And here we are.
I guess I can pick up off that.
Yes.
It made me think of, actually, I think it applies to you. Okay, now it's no think it does. How do I put this without being too sensitive? My opinion is, because I don't believe in lying. Of course, I mean, every now and again I would make a little light one, but for the most part, I don't see any reason to just lie. Like, what's the point? And more often than not, telling somebody the truth can kind of help. And sometimes I've seen people respect you more for telling the truth, but at the same time, as many people preach about how they want honesty and they want the truth, a lot of people can't handle honesty.
Yeah, whenever you tell them, they seem extremely bothered by it, and they say they really wish you hadn't, or, that they hadn't known. And to be honest, in the past, I was kind of like that. I mentioned that I would rather not be told at all. But then, it was around high school or so, I just realized I didn't want to lie anymore. One, it made me feel terrible. Two, I want to find a truer sense of, I guess, who I am and who I was morally. Or, I guess, begin to respect that, whether people liked me for it or not. And I feel like there's more benefits from someone actually hearing the truth as opposed to lying to them. If it were something that could be potentially life-changing or potentially, mindset-changing, you could have actually deprived them of that particular information just by making something up and making something worse seem a lot better than what it really is. I guess it causes for like that false sense of safety I mentioned earlier. Like sometimes ignorance is not very blissful at all. Or honestly, from what I've seen, I've never seen a very blissful ignorant situation. So the thing is, whenever you are not very mindful of the situations, there are a lot of things that could potentially affect you that usually will eventually affect you that you may not know about, so it's kind of, sprung onto you out of nowhere.
I want to argue that point a little bit. So I feel like there's a lot of, in my case, I don't think it's beneficial for ignorance to be, blissful, but
Definitely.
For a lot of people I've seen, and they won't admit it or wholeheartedly admit it, but ignorance can be seen as bliss. And I've seen in some moments where I wish I would have never known certain things. Arguably, as somebody who loves history, I look back on it wishing I didn't know a lot of things. But at the same time, I'm more the wiser for knowing them, and I'm happy to know those truths as opposed to, just walking around in the dark.
Yes. Well, now I return that argument with, I guess, an argument in your favor. And that particular argument for me would be politics. As a child, I lived really fearful of knowing the truth and how the world was, and the deaths that were happening, and how there were those who would actually take advantage of the... I don't want to use the term ignorance, because I feel as though it could be kind of offensive as of now, but let's use it in the actual defined and proper term, not ignorance as in, the way you conduct yourself, but ignorance as in the information you lack. And everyone's ignorant to some things. Yeah. But I just wanted to remain ignorant of all of those things. I never wished to actually know. When I actually did begin to find out exactly how the world was and how people were, and how honestly it didn't seem like it would be changing throughout human existence. That's actually when I began to change personally and permanently for, I wouldn't say the worst, but for a more altered perspective. I've gotten a bit better now But to be honest, I would say that's still very much my base. I never feel too hopeful, particularly for anything. And yet, I also want to help others and make sure that they don't feel particularly... I don't want to make sure they feel out of place, so to speak. So I've actually felt that way myself quite a few times. And actually knowing how that feels, even if it is in the past now, I really don't deal with it now. I just don't really... I don't really speak to anyone. And if I do, it's solely out of necessity. Or for mental peace. Or for the sake of peace. So a lot of times when you don't actually... That's a different story for another day. But yes, that's my opinion on this subject. I feel as though, whether it's hurtful or not, I really do believe it's right to tell the truth. So I'd rather them be informed than uninformed. And honestly, that's particularly that's my stance on the subject.
And I to, I guess, finish this off, honesty, or at least being honest to other people, can, in a weird way, bring out their true nature. Because, I mean, the truth is already bringing out your true nature, because it's showing who you are. It's showing, especially how you, I guess, how you give that person the truth. Because sometimes it can be, the execution can be executed in a lot of different ways. It could be you come off as an asshole, you could try to be nice around, you could try to beat around the bush, but in the end you still tell the truth, and that person who's getting the truth can take it how they want to, and hopefully they take it the right way, but they're always not going to.
Almost always, anyway.
And you'll learn that, depending on, I guess, your relationship with the person you're being truthful to, their true nature will come across after they know the truth. Like, you will know, like, do they want to remain ignorant, or did they... Because, you know, some people, those people who are already, I knew it, but they didn't want to know it. The people who want to just, they want to keep living in ignorance. And now that I keep saying ignorant, I feel bad for using the word, because it do sound pretty offensive.
It does.
But
well,
it's the truth.
It's the way everyone uses it nowadays. Like, I hear it used... I hear the term used improperly quite often. Especially in... No, long story short, I hear it being used improperly all the time. They use it as more of an insult, just in the act of, like, making a mistake or doing something stupid, which honestly doesn't always allude to ignorance. It could just be an honest mistake. Like, oh, that's a really ignorant thing to do. It's like, but the thing is, to do something ignorant, to be ignorant, can you really do something ignorant if you're ignorant of it? Like, it's not an ignorant... Sure, you can make an ignorant mistake. What are you doing, or... that doesn't matter. The way the term is used doesn't matter, but that's personally how I feel. So, long story short, that would be our subject for today. Be sure to embrace the YouTube trio of like, comment, subscribe, and my personal addition to the trio, which makes it the quadrio. Look up the official term for that. Would be view. Even if you don't like, comment, or subscribe, just viewing is enough. So thank you, everyone. Take it easy.